Hey guys, Marco the dog trainer here. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on the best crate for separation anxiety. Now, I've been training dogs professionally for 8 or 9 years now, and this has always been my go-to crate. Okay, this is the Petmate Sky Kennel 48-inch model. Now, like I said, I've probably worked with hundreds of dogs with very severe separation anxiety, and I have never seen a dog break out of this particular model. Now, I should point out that I'm specifically talking about the Sky Kennel 48-inch. Okay, any of the smaller models, there's some kind of subtle changes to them that make them a little less ideal for separation anxiety. So a lot of times, even if I have a smaller dog that's known to break out of crates, I'm just going to put them into this bigger one because I have such a high success rate with this particular model. Now, the Petmate Sky Kennels are not necessarily marketed as escape proof or separation anxiety, but I've never seen a dog break out of this particular one. Now, I think it's because this particular model is approved for airline travel, and obviously we can't have dogs breaking out of crates in the cabin or that like lower area that they keep the crate. So I think that's why this is so secure. And I'm going to break this thing down and kind of show you guys some of the different things that I think make it so effective for separation anxiety in a little bit. But now, if you're in the market for a crate for, a Houdini type dog, you're going to see that they are very expensive, any type of crate for separation anxiety. So if you have checked out any of the kind of like aluminum crates that kind of fold and collapse, that look like they're made to contain a wild animal, okay, now those crates are kind of specifically designed for separation anxiety, but the price goes way, way up. That some of those models are easily $1,000. So because I've never had any issues with training dogs to stay in this particular crate, I don't have a lot of experience with those $1,000 crates. And that's why I'm usually going to tell people that this is a great starting point for any dog with separation anxiety if you're trying to make this work on a budget. So maybe the right professional training with this particular crate, like I said before, I think you're going to have a pretty high success rate. So why don't we take a closer look at this particular crate so I can kind of show you guys everything you need to know. Okay, so the Petmate Sky Kennel 48-inch model is basically three pieces. It's a top shell, a bottom shell, and the door. And the top and bottom shell are just kind of bolted together with a bunch of these little bolts. So if I were working with just like a regular dog that's not actively trying to break out, I'll usually just put 5 or 6 around the corners and the back just to secure it enough. But if I'm working with a dog that is like actively trying to break out, we can put up to 17 bolts around the perimeter of this. And I would probably put all 17 in to make it as secure as possible. Now, as far as the top and bottom shell go, this is some of the thickest plastic I've ever seen on a crate, where I don't even think it's possible for it to crack based on the weight requirements and the strength of a dog would need in order to break it. Where I've seen smaller models of the Petmate Sky Kennel or just different plastic crates altogether that a dog will just kind of slam their head through a corner and they end up cracking it, and like they can stick their whole head out or a paw, where like I said, I don't think that that's even possible. And I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit that the inside of this crate has actually got a lot of scratching on it from the hundreds of dogs that I've been training, to stay in this particular crate. But even though it's all kind of scratched up, it doesn't look very pretty, but they were not even close to breaking out of it. So, so again, that's just kind of speaks to the sturdiness of the plastic that this crate uses. Now, one note on the plastic is that if I could do things over, I probably would have went with the gray model instead of this kind of beige or tan. I live in Georgia where we've got really, really red clay and soil. So the inside of this particular crate has kind of gotten stained red. Where, again, it doesn't really have anything to do with the sturdiness or security of the crate, just a little bit more aesthetic. I think that the gray version of this particular model just looks nicer, a little bit longer. Now, as far as the door goes, okay, so this is very thick, sturdy metal for this door. where like if our dogs are biting at this, they are not going to be bending it. Where some like wire crates or other plastic crates with thinner plastic or thinner metal doors, I've seen dogs bite at it and like they can literally like it's like, you know, bending them open. Where this one, I don't think that that's really possible. Now, the next thing I want to point out about the door, because this is really a very important component of why this crate is so secure, is that it locks in 4 different locations, meaning that a dog would have to break through a lot of plastic in at least 2 or 3 of those locations for this door to move at all. And I've never seen a dog even break through one of the locations, okay? But now the other piece that makes this door so secure is that it has a kind of a double locking mechanism that we have to unlock one piece in order to lock the other. Okay, and now that's going to make it very, very difficult for dogs to break out of, because from the inside, there's no way for them to press this release lock in order to unlock this piece. Okay, so now again, you'll see that it sends that metal pole into 4 different locations. Now on the back side of this door, there's really just like a metal plate here that even if the dogs were scratching at it and licking at it, there's really nothing that they can do to mess with the actual locking mechanism. Now, over time, it may start to rust if we have a dog that's really biting at it or licking at it. And so I would say, you know, over the 8 or 9 years that I've had this particular model, I've probably replaced the door 2 or 3 times. Just because, you know, like I said, I've had hundreds of dogs in here trying to break out. So if you were just like a regular person who was just buying this for your dog with separation anxiety, you're probably going to have a longer lifespan on the doors and stuff like that. But that is kind of a nice advantage to this particular model, is that the metal door or the metal vents on the sides, you can kind of replace them as needed, which kind of just adds to the lifespan of the crate quite a bit. So, so that's just kind of a side note for the door itself. Now, why don't we take this thing apart so I can just really quickly show you what that looks like, and then we'll probably wrap up the video from there. Okay, so I've got the top shell here and the bottom shell here. You can tell that the bottom shell is pretty stained just from where the paws are and stuff like that. I could probably bleach it out and lighten it up quite a bit, but it's kind of inevitable that it's going to get dirty over time. Now, the top shell here is where the bulk of that scratching is that I was telling you guys about. And realistically, like, I know which dog did a lot of the damage on the inside of this crate, and it was actually a 140-pound dog. So this crate is technically designed for dogs between 90 and 110 pounds. So I think that because I had a 140-pound dog in here, that is why they were able to at least damage it. But I'm going to show you guys a little bit closer here in a second that even though it doesn't look very nice, it's really just aesthetic. Like, we did not get deep enough at all to do any type of, you know, structural damage to this. Okay, now, so if I were following the rules and I stayed within that 90 to 110 pound weight range, I don't think that this would have even been possible to have been scratched up. Okay, now let me show you guys a little bit closer what the scratching looks like, and then I'll show you guys how to put this thing back together. All right, like I said, 140-pound dog that was having a very hard time. The only dog I've ever seen at least scratch the inside of this. But like I said, it's like not deep at all. And even some of these on the side here. All right, so putting this back together. Top piece just goes on the bottom. And you just have to make sure that all of the holes are lining up properly here. All right, and then for the door, we can actually decide if we want it to open this way Or if we want it to open this way, we just have to make that choice before we put this thing together. Okay, we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, and then from there, we've got our bolts. Now, for this video, I'm just gonna do one, but we don't need a wrench or any tools or anything like that. We can just use our fingertips. Now, I do have another video that goes into a little bit more of an overview of this crate outside of separation anxiety, so feel free to check that out. But I think that that's pretty much everything you guys need to know about the Petmate Sky Kennel 48-inch model as far as separation anxiety goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.